Welcome. You're here once again with the Transferable Experience Podcast, episode 21. We're getting up there, man.
2-1.
You know, it's the usual suspects here. Me. Jew.
Yo.
You know, just remember to do all the things on all the things.
Mm-hmm.
What's been going on, man? I haven't talked to you in
What's that?
the podcast.
Yeah. Man, I'm doing good. What's up, everybody? You know, it's your boy. I'm doing all right, man. I am really how I'm feeling right now. I am a little not exhausted, but the sun has been draining me.
Yeah, you out there in a daily battle with the sun,
man, bro. When I
are you winning?
It's
Putting up a good fight.
It's going to game 7 for sure.
That's all you do.
It's going to game 7 for sure. But man, I'm feeling good, bro. Like, this has been a good week so far. Overall, I can't say despite the heat.
Mm-hmm.
I just been focusing on putting things in place, making smart decisions, trying to create good habits as always. You know, my usual thing.
Mm-hmm.
Throughout this week, I've been thinking. I'm sorry. Throughout this week, I've been thinking a lot, just like where I fit in history, but like not on a super large scale, just within myself. Another one of those reflective weeks where I'm just like, dang, I did do that. I was looking at some old pictures. I was going through Facebook and MySpace. I still got it MySpace. I might just put myself out there. I don't get on it, but it's still there. If somebody wanted to go check out my MySpace, it's still there.
Active.
It's active. But they had like changed my password. I had to like set up a new password.
Dang.
But anyway, I was going through all the pictures and like I was just laughing at different things that I was seeing. I was just like, dang, okay, like a lot of time has passed, but not a lot at all.
Yeah.
So yeah, that's how I've been, man. What about you, bro?
I know eventually I'm gonna regret the fact that I didn't take many pictures growing up.
That's true. I don't really see a lot of old pictures of you.
But it's not as like normal as it is now just to snap a picture up. Mm-hmm. You know, we was kind of in that. We got to witness that transition time where it was kind of weird. Like we
smushed in the middle, bro.
Yeah, because in 2010, if y'all was just about to go have a good time and somebody just said, "Hey, bro, take a picture of me," we was gonna clown them and say, "What are you doing? Why? What?"
Boy was taking pictures in 2010,
but not like that.
Not like that. Not like that.
Now it's just like that's kind of like what you do, or if you got a fit, is
like there has to be an aesthetic in the scene, like for the picture, like
it's not just,
like come on, y'all, let's go over there by that.
Yeah, you can't just really just get off with just like a little
boy used to take
just a quick snap, just point the camera towards you and smile.
Boy,
it's like a whole aesthetic. You gotta have a nice little background.
You gotta have captions ready. People got like preloaded captions, like
people do, or people be thinking for hours.
Yeah, they be like, man, or like people be like, oh, I can't wait to use this caption. I thought about this, bro. I'm gonna use this on my next.
I keep him anonymous, but man, he told me what his next caption was gonna be. He's like, I can't wait to use this as a caption.
No,
he younger though.
Okay.
But I was like,
boys used to get off the. Boys used to.
I've never been a caption. I like just letting the picture speak for itself.
I like a good caption, but like I like when the caption like lightly. It's either like it's like two ways that I do it. Like I'm gonna put a cool statement that lightly is attached to what's in the picture.
Yeah.
Or if I'm gonna go left, I'm gonna go all the way left. I'm gonna go all the way left.
It always tripped me out when people will post just like a selfie, but then they give you like a deep breakdown of their childhood. Like, why are you doing this?
When the sun rose, I rose with it. You can call me rose petals. Like what?
They go deeper than that. They give you their whole background on a selfie. I'm like, how does this correlate? And why are you giving this?
See, you're not on Facebook like I am.
Oh no,
man, it get crazy on there. Like Instagram, like Twitter pictures. Twitter a tough crowd. I posted like 2 pictures on Twitter because that's a hard crowd.
See, I don't use Twitter for pictures. That's in my mind. Twitter is where I get my thoughts off. Instagram, just pictures. And then
that's it.
Facebook, if I just want to give a life update.
Okay.
Which I'm not really into doing, but when I do, but yeah.
Facebook, I don't know. I use them all. I use it kind of like lately. I haven't been using Instagram. Like my last Instagram post is probably like 3 months ago. Mm-hmm. Like I don't post the picture. Like I put it on my story.
Yeah.
But I rarely ever, like if I post a picture on Instagram, it's like I either really like the picture or I'm really trying to say something. But my Instagram and my Facebook are connected, of course, because, you know, capitalism. So if I'm doing a life update, I'm probably going to post a picture on Instagram because it's going to post on Facebook anyway. So.
Oh, you have it set up where it automatically posts.
Yeah. So, and it's still good because you can see the divide. I see the divide in the people that comment on the Facebook and the comment on the Instagram.
Yeah.
It'd be two different comments, bro. But back then, I didn't even think about pictures as a kid. Like,
yeah,
I just play. Like my mom and them,
a hassle.
Mom and them used to have to get us together. Like y'all get together. We gotta get a picture. You know,
it was like times you knew you was gonna take a picture. Like first day of school, maybe
Easter for sure, Christmas, maybe. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah. Thanksgiving. That's when I knew we was probably gonna take a picture. But
we had a lot of pictures on birthdays. If it was somebody's birthday,
we didn't really take pictures on birthdays.
Like we got a lot of like. I remember the junk drawer with the batteries and Taco Bell packs,
keys that you don't know what they belong to.
It used to be old like Kodaks in there. Like it'd be like,
yeah. See, my family, we actually have photo albums. I haven't seen them in a while, but I know they exist.
Nah, see, we had. I don't know where I was at. I ain't seen a photo album of my family in a long time.
Yeah, I know they exist. But man, you know, last Saturday we went to the little DFW swap meet event, and you know, as always, it was a good time. It was
vibes,
absolutely. But the thing that stuck out the most to me about that was there was a DJ, and he was playing music, and I really enjoyed it. Like, not like sometimes you kind of just you hear it, but it's just in the background. You just do what you like.
You don't really pay attention to.
That was a major part of my experience. And I thought, I really, really, really enjoyed that. And he was a good DJ, don't get me wrong. But I realized that was the first time I've heard music in a public setting in like
pre-quarantine?
Since the pandemic. Because I haven't really just been like
out.
Like when it was my birthday in January, you know, we kind of sort of went to like Stir.
Yeah, we did.
But we got there like kind of before
it popped off.
Yeah. So it was like, that was like my first time. I was like, dang, I didn't realize like how much I missed that. Like,
yeah. And just seeing like the crowd reaction. Yeah. You know,
and then what made me feel really old too. After I was like, man, I want to go somewhere where I can hear current music. I was like, I don't necessarily want to be standing the whole time, but I just want to go somewhere where they play music. I
think that's called the club.
Or everywhere got DJs these days.
Yeah, that's true.
Since COVID, man, I haven't really just been out there like that. Outside, as the kids would say.
I ain't been on a scene in like a long time.
Like I haven't been to Deep Ellum since COVID. I haven't been.
I think I went to. No, I ain't been to Deep Ellum in a minute.
I haven't been
outside of my cousin's graduation on 6th Street in Austin. That was the first time.
Oh, you've been?
Yeah, I
haven't been anywhere.
Well, you need to do that, bro.
I really do want to start getting out more.
Yeah, you got
whatever that means, but
you gotta keep your hand on the pulse of the streets, man.
Yeah, man, I got to start going somewhere at least.
It is funny, man.
Because like I said, I really just want to hear some music out loud. I don't know what the masses listen. I know what I listen to and kind of what y'all listen to, but
and that's funny because I talked to you a lot about this, about how like. And we talk about this, like how you were introducing to a song. Like, because we got a friend that went to Miami, and that's when that little Dirk and that Baby dropped. And he don't really listen to like Dirk like that. But he was like, man, it was something about when I heard it in the strip club. I was like, bro, that's what it do. Like when you out there and
when you out and about and you hear a song. That's why I've been taking a long time for like certain songs to connect with me because
I don't know what this,
anywhere.
Yeah, like I don't know what this song mean in public.
If it's I go to restaurants, but I don't go anywhere where they have DJs and it's lively.
Yeah, that's true.
sit and eat. So, but nah, man. All that to say though, I'm about to start going places, man. Hear some music.
Ooh,
man,
yeah.
I sound so old,
Yeah,
but
man.
I really want to hear some music. I don't know. I like
That's
music.
funny,
I want to
like-
hear what people listen to.
That's funny. Like at our age, like that's all I want. I just want to hear some
Bro, it's
music.
the simple desire. When we was younger, that wasn't
That wouldn't
the
even-
thought or the focus at all. When
You might
was
have thought, I
going
hope they
out.
play this song, but like
But that wasn't the focus at
no,
all.
that wasn't the focus at all.
Now-
And now it's just like, bro,
I just
just
want to hear some music.
I just want to move. I just want to,
Yeah,
get a
hear
little
something out
vibe going.
loud.
Yeah, it's-
Sometimes too, though, it's crazy the kind of stuff that you take for granted. Then when it's taken away from you, you realize, oh, I really liked that. I didn't
enjoyed
realize how
that.
much I enjoyed that. So
And Jesus, like if you want that, you're in the right place for it.
yeah, why I say that? There's
I would
plenty of
say
places.
that's funny, man, because that's actually one of the things I was thinking about this week too. Like what I want to do this weekend, with the newly appointed federal holiday, but we celebrate anyway, Juneteenth.
Oh yeah,
You know what I mean? It made me like, man, I don't know why. I was like, I'm looking at the holiday, right? I'm like, okay, this is Juneteenth, bro.
mm-hmm.
On 4th of July, people get off and people go buy fireworks and it's big sales and blah, 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 blah. Everybody out because everybody want to enjoy this day off.
Mm.
But this weekend is on a Saturday.
Yeah,
I know there's some commentary out there where they're kind of like apprehensive about it being a federal holiday because they don't want it to get whitewashed.
yeah,
But I'm like jaded. I'm a little torn because I'm like, well, it should be a federal holiday. Like,
Yeah.
we deserve that recognition
yeah. That's like a major moment in American history.
in Texas history specifically. You know what I'm saying? Both of us being from Texas, like. So anyway, I say that to say that I was thinking about this weekend. I was like, bro, I want to get out, bro. Like, you know what I'm saying? Like, I don't know why. Like, bro, I've been in the house. I've been taking all my precautions. I've been taking my multivitamins. Got my black seed oil. I've been popping my echinacea pill. So
Yeah.
my immune system is probably like the best it's probably ever been.
In all honesty, mine as well.
In a
I haven't
minute.
had a cold in over a year.
Yeah, all right, bro. Outside of that food poisoning. But anyway, I was like, man, not only do I want to hear music and interact with the people and everything like that, I was thinking to myself, I should go as hard as I go for any other holiday for this holiday.
That's true.
Because to think about it, like, majority of the other holidays don't really got nothing to do with me, like, as a person or as a black man. Like, with this holiday directly is tied to me, my heritage, and everything.
I don't think that's like probably the holiday that's most tied to you outside of your birthday.
Yeah, like, you know what I'm saying? Like, Christmas isn't like celebrating me. You know what I'm saying? Thanksgiving ain't really celebrating me. It's kind of horrible, but you know what I'm saying? But this is celebrating me. And I was like, I don't know. I just want to put my blackness on full display this weekend.
I can't wait to see what that outfit means.
I wouldn't even think about the outfit. Dang. You just too old.
But now, man, you got me pumped up now.
But you know what I'm saying? Like,
Yeah. I mean,
am I tripping?
Yeah, I mean, we always celebrate me and Joseph and Kristen. We always do something, but it's normally like it's pretty intimate. But we always like literally cook and stuff and celebrate. And
so last year, so I cut you off, my bad.
no, go ahead.
No, I was just saying like I celebrated it like we've celebrated between ourselves. And it's funny to look at the holiday and how it's grown. Because I remember Juneteenth at like 6 years old. You know what I'm saying? We would just cook and like everybody be like, they'll tell you why we celebrating. And it was just kind of like a word of mouth holiday. It used to be like a little word of mouth holiday. Like, you know what I'm saying? You'd be like, bro, what y'all doing for Juneteenth? And some people like, Juneteenth?
There really was a word of mouth holiday.
It was a word of mouth holiday. It was a word of mouth holiday. Like, and once you told us, like, oh, for real, that's what Juneteenth is. Like, cause my grandma used to say it. Now they like, oh, I want to do something now.
Yeah.
But over the last years, you look at you know what I'm saying, the corporate inclusion, if you want to put air quotes over that, about like the injustices that our people have been facing.
Yeah.
They try to be in allies or whatever that means. So now it's kind of getting more of a mainstream.
Yeah, it got more of a spotlight.
Yeah, and I want to say that kind of happened just like last year.
Yeah, I'm about to say this wasn't like years.
This was like
pretty much last year.
Last year, because we was in the wake of the George Floyd protest, and then this came. Then that's when every company that you ever bought said something. You know what I'm saying? I was like, oh, they about to take this serious.
Yeah.
But I laid all that groundwork to say what I did last year for Juneteenth, and it's actually a great just like avenue into what like we were kind of wanting to talk about today, because we both were thinking about it, and with Juneteenth, it's a celebration of it, and there's going to be a lot of this weekend. Last year, I was in New York. Like you said, you and Joseph and Chris and y'all celebrated, right? I celebrated in New York. And when I was living in New York, I was like the only black person that lived in my household. And I was probably like one of the only, I didn't really know too many black people in the area. But I wanted a Juneteenth celebration because I wanted to celebrate my heritage, right?
Yeah.
So I kind of had to like teach my roommates, these white boys, about Juneteenth. And I kind of had to give them a little history lesson. And we ended up barbecuing. I barbecued, and like, you know, they participated, put stuff on the grill and stuff like that. And then I had a good time. Like I was playing my music. I was playing the most. Let's just say I took it under there. I took them through there. I ran it through the garden. All right. And it was funny because I'm like, man, I wonder if these white boys they don't feel like it's a holiday to them. Probably not. Not like I do.
Yeah.
And I was just saying, like, I was just thinking to myself, like, but it was a joyous moment for me. You know what I'm saying? I was just like, how do I even convey to them what this means to me? You know what I mean? And a lot of that concept is mirrored in a lot of situations. They're not just Juneteenth. When you're a black person, specifically a black man. And I want to ask you, have you ever had a situation like that? Like, you know what I'm saying? Like a situation where, okay, I don't know, because I know you don't mess with people. So if you ever in a situation where you had to like convey your blackness to somebody or give them some kind of insight to what something means to you as a black man or as a black person? Does that make sense?
Yeah, I'm with you.
I know I went on a little tangent. My bad.
I think a lot of the workspaces I've been in have been where I would be like either one of few or one of one. And I think for me, I just personally, I never liked being the voice of a race.
Come on,
I
now.
find that to be offensive.
Yeah, talk about it, bro. Because I
remember when I had just got out of undergrad, I had like a little gig at the hospital, and like my boss, he would like, I remember he called me in one day into his office, which wasn't normal. So I go in there and like, it's like, oh man, you kind of start thinking about what you did, what you didn't do.
Oh yeah.
And then he was like, I got this text message, and they said something about on fleek. What does that mean?
No.
And
no.
In my mind, I thought to myself, okay. You asked me because I'm black, so I'm just supposed to be your cultural reference.
Yeah, you supposed to be the dictionary for
Yeah, I was like, and when he did that to me, bro, I said, I don't know. Just like that, bro. Anytime somebody ever like, because I say I've been in like environments where I would be the only black person, and anytime they tried to use me to be the voice of black people, I would just
dismissed it.
Yep, act like I was oblivious, because I didn't like that, and like I feel like that kind of go into like a microaggression, you know?
Yeah.
It's like,
I'm about to ask, how did that make you feel?
just like
used or exploited?
No, it's just like,
It's a little bit of exploitation.
yeah, it's like, it's a little offensive a little bit, but it's like, that's why I just play oblivious, so you'll never think you can just come to me with all your black, quote unquote, black people questions.
You don't, yeah.
So it's like, no, I just play oblivious. 'Cause I didn't like that. It really like, I don't know, it kind of just set the tone with like just being black and having to like navigate a workspace where, like I say, I've been in a lot of situations where I'm the only black man. I've been in a few situations where I can either be the only black man or just the only black person. Like I was working for a startup company, and it was 18 of us. I was the only person of color and the only black and only black man and only black person and the only person of color.
Oh man.
And
Person of color.
Yeah, like
it wasn't no other.
I was like diversity.
Oh man.
Me, and just like
the brochure guy.
Yeah, and just navigating that and like hearing certain things that you know, because you know when people, I guess they're a little bit more comfortable, they like give a little bit more. Yeah, they may say certain stuff. That, nothing. I didn't hear anything egregious because I would have spoke up. You know.
Yeah, exactly.
It'd just be like.
But even that right there, that something egregious can be said, and you have to, and I feel like that's like one of what it means to be a black person or a black man in American society. Like you heard, do ask you like, what does on fleek mean? And in 0.5 seconds, you have to decide whether to be this or that. You know what I'm saying? To react this way or that way. And I think that is like at the core of what navigating the world while being black. Yeah. You know what I'm saying? That's blank while black. You know, living while black. Exactly. Like I tell you an example. Last year we had a happy hour for my job. So, you know, everybody at the bar, because, you know, it's happy hour, post work. So everybody like taking the gloves off, so to speak. You know what I'm saying? And we was good. It was a good time. You know, we were drinking, like playing like cornhole and stuff, you know. We was talking, and it was in the midst of the presidential election, the race. And we were talking, we got on the subject of like Joe Biden and Elizabeth Warren and all the candidates. And one of the coworkers asked me, he say, well, how do black Americans think about, what do they think about like Elizabeth Warren? And I was like, bro, I can't speak. I was like, bro, I was just taking it back. I was like, I cannot.
Only minorities are asked to be the voice of the entire race.
Bro, I was like, first of all, that's just what? You know what I'm saying? I was just like, you know what I'm saying? And then I was just like, bro, I was like, man, I'm sorry, bro. I don't want to give you the impression that all black people think like that. Like,
you're not monolithic.
We're not monolithic, bro. Like, and I don't know. It just like, and like my roommate, Scott, shout out to Scott. He actually kind of like, he was a white dude. You know what I'm saying? Scott's a white guy. Shout out to Scott. He had a birthday this past week. Anyway, he said, he's like, dude, do you know that's the most ignorant thing that you can like ask a black person? And you know, and that was cool to see like another white guy say that, because like if I said that, it comes off like abrasive, a little bit aggressive. Yep. Now, after that, like Scott can say that, and him and like other coworker can like kind of go about it. I say that now it's like this fudginess every time we interact, like they're waiting for me to lash out. You know what I'm saying?
To explode.
And I was just like, nah, man. But that was just another example. And I gave that example about Juneteenth because now we have this holiday in the forefront of America. It's a federal holiday.
Yeah.
And there's going to be a lot of black spaces. There's going to be a lot of spaces this weekend where people just want to be black.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? Like they just want to be black. They want to listen to their music. They want to talk how they talk, walk how they walk, dress how they dress. And, you know, mainstream demographic likes to participate when they want to participate. You know what I'm saying? And some of them may not know how, but like they're going to be attempts. And I don't know. I just don't know if those spaces are going to be taken over or not. You know what I'm saying? And that kind of worries me.
Yeah.
So to speak. So, but when I think about these things, like I ask you this. Way back when, like, was there a moment when you realized like you were different, like when you were black, or was it something you always knew, or did something have to happen to where you know, oh, this is the effects of being filled with
I think
melanin?
I always was able to. I think I'm pretty sure, like, since I could think, you know, and have a proper thought process, I've always known I was black just from being able to see color, literally. Because I remember, like, growing up, I'd always be like, yeah, that white person. My dad said, don't say white, say Caucasian. Like, we really grew up saying Caucasian.
Yeah.
Like, we didn't say white. But nah, I think I've always known I was black. And then, like, luckily it was kind of like where we grew up at is so unique because it's like everything is pretty much black except normally when you go to school, the teachers and the coaches, they wouldn't be. But everybody else would pretty much be black.
Yeah.
Like
everybody in your class.
Yeah. So it's like, I don't know. I kind of just grew up in like predominantly black environments, even though, I mean, I know technically how demographically our hometown is split up, but it's not as. Yeah, it's kind of, you know, so I felt like I grew up more in a black environment and stuff. And I think for me, I didn't have to really like having to start learning how to navigate in non-predominantly black environments, honestly, until I went to college. And that's where it was like, okay, I'm not the majority here. Like I was back home pretty much everywhere I would go.
Is that because we were like, because I think if somebody new moved to our city, our hometown, they would have a hard time finding black people. Like, I mean, I don't think they have a hard time at all, actually. Like,
no, I think you could pretty much you just go somewhere and
then boom,
with
boom,
the
boom.
exclusion of a couple places. But if you active, you'll run into black people pretty easily.
Yeah,
it's not like you have to search them out.
Yeah, no, I don't know. I don't think it was never a situation where I had to like find out I was black, because like you said, I pretty much knew. You know what I mean? Like that's something that's like given to us early on.
Yeah, I didn't have like preconceived notions about people based on their skin. Like it was literally just a fact. Oh yeah, he's white. He's Caucasian. Like that would be it. Like I wouldn't think, you may have to. They may be a little, you know, or have different
you
thoughts
didn't think
about
that as a kid?
you. No,
dang,
you did. You thought?
Yeah, I knew. You didn't know when like discrimination was happening to you
When I was like in elementary school.
Yeah.
No.
Man.
I was just living.
Yeah.
And then, like I said, is you can try to discriminate, but when you're like in more of a predominantly black environment where all the students, you know, all your classmates pretty much black, is like
it's kind of hard to.
Yeah.
But you were in like in advanced classes though.
Yeah, it probably wasn't there. It probably wasn't as, I guess, diverse as being in other classes, but it was still
it was still mostly
black.
Yeah,
you might have went from 80% to 70.
Yeah, that's true. And then like, excuse me, I think growing up too, you always knew. Excuse me, oh my God, but I always knew where my black spaces were. So even if I had to go to, let's say, a UIL meet on a Saturday, you know, there can be a lot of like Asian, Hispanic. It can be very diverse over there for most of them. And then like I was like, okay, so I gotta go be in this space for about 4 hours. Mm-hmm. But then after that, I'm back on my side of town, and it's all good.
Yeah.
But do you feel like when you have to go to those spaces, like those diverse spaces, when you said in college, like, do you feel something switch? Like, okay, let me turn on my.
Well,
you ever like you have to turn on something, or
learning how to navigate that is just like the kind of like the conversations changed, you know.
That's no,
and getting used to like hearing what they talk about, which I mean, it's not stuff I really connect with, and just
was it like
and just seeing like what their interests are, and just it's just different, you know.
Yeah.
So like I say, it'd be some commonalities because you know we're all human, but just like the different interests and what they value, and like it was just different. And hearing like I say, that was the main part, just hearing like completely different conversations, like us shooting you know, it's completely different than them just shooting the breeze and just talking.
Yeah, we over there talking about Jamie Foxx show. We making like jokes about the Jamie Foxx show.
It didn't seem to be as much laughter and comedic relief. You know,
it was stiffer. It's
a little bit more serious and like just.
And then like they would be like, well, you know, I'm going to the lake this weekend.
Yeah,
we're gonna get on my dad's boat, and I'd be like, a boat.
Like I would somewhat hear about mudding and stuff like that in high school, but like you said, when you get to college and like they were like going lay out. I was like, lay out. I was like, I know tanning is that's just called laying out.
Yeah.
It's like, oh,
is that what that is?
Yeah, when you go lay out.
Okay.
See.
Yeah, I remember the white girls in our class and coming up in high school. They would bring their tanning lotion because they'd go tanning right after school. And I remember like coming to school ashy some days, and like I'm looking for lotion because, you know, the girls usually have lotion with them. And I saw like the bottle on the desk, and I said, hey, Elena, can I get some of your lotion? And she's like, oh, that's not lotion. That's like tanning lotion for when I go tanning. So she was, and I was like, what is that? You know what I'm saying? I was like, what is, I didn't even know, like, that's like, that was just one of those moments. You know what I'm saying? Like just in like casual interaction that I noticed like, oh, that's a different side of living that I don't participate in. You know what I'm saying? So, but you're right. Like the conversation would be different. Like in college, there was a lot more like arenas where, like in a black arena, right? I can introduce myself. What's up, y'all? It's Jew. Such and such. I could just start talking. Because throughout me talking and what I'm talking about, my tone, body language, you know, a lot of black communication gets nonverbal. You know what I mean? They can kind of pick up on the kind of person I am. I noticed that when I was entering like predominantly white spaces, I would have to like state my beliefs before like going into a subject. Like, man, like, okay, I come from this background, so this is kind of how I frame this mentality. You know what I'm saying? This is how my mentality is framed. Yeah. And this is why I think such and such. But I got to give them that. You know what I'm saying?
That foundation, that baseline foundation.
Yeah. Because like I don't want to be misunderstood. Thus being labeled as like whatever. Like I don't know.
Preconceived notions they have about black people.
Yeah, exactly. You feel like you ever affirmed a stereotype? Is there a stereotype that you affirm? A black stereotype? Can we be honest?
Yeah, I mean,
I like fried chicken. I like watermelon.
Man, that's like my favorite food is fried chicken. And I like shoes. I like sports. Basketball, football are my favorite sports.
You check all the boxes, huh?
Yeah.
That's what's up.
I can't think anymore. But
I definitely have an affinity for chicken in all kind of ways. Like if I go somewhere, I'm gonna look at the chicken version of that thing and see how it look before I just go off into some other stuff. I ain't gonna lie to you.
But no, it was just really just trial and error and just being in those environments and kind of learning where I fit in predominantly white spaces and how I want to be represented. Like I say, I don't want to be the voice of my people.
You want to be the voice of Ed?
Yeah, I always try to convey that in any way I can. Like I say, so if I'm asked any type of cultural thing, I don't know. I play completely oblivious. Even though I'm tapped in for the most part, so I kind of keep track of everything. But no, you're not about to use me in that manner.
Yeah,
no.
yeah. I will say I did a lot of teaching. I've taught a lot of white people about what goes on in like black spaces or what certain things mean. And I don't think I was ever doing it to like give them permission to do it. But I was doing it to where like when you see this happening, there's like no reason to panic or like there's no reason to like, you know what I'm saying, feel away because this is what this means.
Yeah. And I think our younger generation, like our age, we like, I do believe we interact with each other more because it's different now. Like it may have been like two different type of, it might have been like black culture and culture, but now it's just culture and it's driven by black people. So it's like everything like which probably is kind of much always been the case, but now it's like we're on the forefront. Is no more, oh, they stealing that idea and they taking it and making it something. Like when you see like those like black expressions on like T-shirts at Forever 21. It's like
AF.
black. Yeah, it's like black designers making their own brands and stuff, and like we are the culture, and it's like apparent and like it's not being
appropriated.
It's still being appropriated, but I guess it's like we hold a more significant space, and it's known that black people are the pulse of culture.
Yeah. That's true.
And so with that, it's like. Most music that a younger kid might listen to probably gonna be by somebody that's black,
influenced by,
or their favorite athlete probably gonna be a black man, So it's like it's just more. I think it's just more interaction and just like open mindedness and like some of that stuff is just like going away, like just those stereotypes and stuff, and, or at least that's how I see it compared to like
20 years ago.
Yeah, 20 years ago was the early 2000s. That's crazy. But it's like, I feel like we just kind of getting our credit more and more. Granted, we're not all the way there. Don't get me wrong.
Still work.
But it's like a lot of breakthroughs are happening, even in like cinema. And like it's people, whether you like their stuff or not. You got the Tyler Perry's, the Lena Wraiths, the Issa Rae's, like what's his name? Ken. What's his name? That does like Blackish, Mix-ish.
And what's the dude?
Kenny Burns, is that his name?
Yeah. And what's the dude that did Ryan Coogler?
Yeah, I'm about to say with Disney and
Disney,
like
yeah.
And she did Ripple in Time. Ava DuVernay. She did.
Yeah,
so it's like we got like way more prominent figures.
Yeah,
that's just to name a few. There's way more than that.
Those are a lot of people too that hold the reins of ushering in.
Yeah, like Kevin Hart's of the world. Like,
yeah, that's true. That's
why I feel like we're not there. Not gonna say that because innocent black people still getting shot, but I do feel like if you were to look back 20 years, there is progress being made.
Yeah,
there's still way more to be had.
Yeah.
But
and now it's taking on a different form. You feel me? Oh my bad, you got that pulled up? Did you Google? Thought you Googled that dude name. No, but I was thinking that like maybe like it's taking it's kind of like changing form a little bit, whereas back then maybe you had to maybe you couldn't just voice your concern or your disdain for the way that something was being treated because we didn't have social media.
Yeah, Kenya Barris.
Okay, that's what it was.
Yeah, and that's kind of like a thing too. Is like what people would have got away with and stuff is like on the internet now. When people are starting to find out, those videos are starting to go viral, people starting to lose their jobs and stuff. So it's like it's way more costly to be an outward racist these days, or just.
I'm thinking of an analogy. See if you feel me. So, like, the black spaces in black arenas have always been around, right? And have always been co-opted by, white people or exploited and things like that. But I think now it's like those spaces and arenas, now that we have things like Instagram, Twitter, outlets where you can, where like a white person can literally look on their follow enough black people to where like they're kind of tapped into the nuances of our culture that they don't really like, they've never probably been exposed to prior. It's like our arenas now have big glass windows.
Yeah,
you know what I'm saying?
And they're bigger and bigger now.
Bigger and bigger.
You can't just ignore them like, oh, that's just something they do. No, it's like, this
is what it is.
Yeah, we need to get in on this.
Yeah, this is what it is. Because, like, I don't know, man. Like you said, we just named a few. Like, the creations just keep coming. They just keep coming. They keep evolving. They keep getting better and better and, like, more blatant, like, in your face. Like, it's hard to ignore. A person that's not ignoring LeBron James.
Yeah.
There's no way to ignore that. You know what I'm saying? There's no way to ignore Serena Williams. Like, there's no way to ignore that. You know what I'm saying? Like, you can't turn your attention away because, like, this is what tennis is. This is it's running basketball. Like, and I think that's just so great.
Yeah.
I think that's so great. But what I guess I would ask you, to the white person that may be going with their... Okay, I got two questions. To the white person that may be going to a Juneteenth celebration with their black friends this weekend, what would you tell them to do? Just listen?
Just listen. No, it'd just be a fly on the wall and just observe the culture and just enjoy it and just be there. You don't have to... You don't got to perform. Yeah, don't be performative. Just take it in and like just... It's kind of like when you go travel abroad. You don't... Yeah, exactly. I'm not gonna absorb. You just observe it and just take it in and appreciate it for what it is. Yep. That's what I say. Observe and appreciate. I always say this: open yourself to being educated for the purpose of appreciating like the culture. It don't mean that like if you get a plate of freaking red beans and rice and catfish, you can't just. That don't mean just like, oh, we, you know what I'm saying? Like, it means like, okay, we're giving you a piece of our culture and stuff like that. Appreciate it. Ask questions to see where it comes from. What's the origin of it? So that you have a better appreciation for it when you out there with your other white friends. You know what I'm saying? Like, cause that's where it really happens at. That's where the real growth happens at for me. Like, if you teach me something, Ed, about anything, like whatever you're into that I don't know nothing about, I'm going to take that education to my group of friends like, oh, no, that's not done like that. You know what I'm saying? Because Ed has let me know that the significance of this and that and that. Yeah. And we need to respect it as such. So stop tripping. You know what I'm saying? Like, I would approach it like that or you know, something like that. And to the black person that wants to celebrate their Juneteenth, celebrate their heritage, their ethnicity, what do they do? Just be you, huh? Yeah, be you. Embrace yourself and just enjoy it. It's a celebration. Yeah. It's freedom. Yeah, it is freedom. Everybody got different versions of freedom. Just enjoy the day however you want to enjoy it. What's your version? Of freedom? Fellowshipping with loved ones, eating what I want. Just really just what a celebration of freedom. That's what we should ask. Not what freedom, but the celebration of freedom is for me is just being around my community and just fellowship and being in good spirits and enjoying each other. And,
man, when that Mo City Done come on this weekend, that's celebration of freedom.
Yeah,
I want to rap every word to Mo City Done without feeling judged. Without feel like, oh look, they're over there doing the song. Like, no, man, we all rapping this Mo City Done because this is what we grew up on. This is black culture. You know what I'm saying? Let's be in this moment. That's the kind of stuff I be wanting to see. You know what I'm saying?
I don't feel comfortable when I feel like I'm being performative. Like if you out in the space and it's like a diverse space and you start dancing and then they just start looking at you or trying to record you. It's like, can you do that again?
No,
I'm not.
See that? Yeah,
I'm not here for your amusement.
That's a big part of it.
But dancing is just a part of our culture. So I like this song and I may want to dance.
A brother go move.
Yeah.
Black people gonna move, man.
Might move a shoulder or two, a little two-step, but swipe my hips a little bit. But
God,
I don't want it to be performative or you recording me.
Yeah, exactly. There's been a lot of times where I've been like, damn, I really want to like get out there. But if I do it, I'm like, there you go.
Yeah. That's honestly like, I'm at that point where it's like sometimes even that is kind of like navigating. Is like if I'm in like a diverse space or like kind of more of a minority in the space, and it's like music and I want to dance, I don't want to dance because I don't want to seem like I'm being performative. I don't want nothing to do to be performative or for your amusement. Like
like we did enough of that.
Yeah, that make me feel uncomfortable. So
we did enough of that. Or
that's
like
why I say that's like when I know I'm in like a more of a black space, I feel more comfortable just dancing and stuff.
And the thing is, like, black people gonna join you. You know what I'm saying? We gonna join you. Like, oh shoot, he bust the win.
That's when you hear that hype man with the ad libs, the A's,
the A. Hey, that
somebody grab on your collar.
That's usually me grabbing his collar, y'all. Just let y'all know.
See, I don't enjoy that the kids bought the grab the collar thing with a man getting loose. Don't do that no more. Just give me an A. To be honest with you, don't grab my collar.
You don't want no collar?
I don't want no collar, man.
Okay.
Stretching out my shirt.
I used to like the collar.
I don't like the collar. See, it's too spotlight. Even if I'm in a black space and you grab my collar, now people know what that means.
Yeah, they're like, oh, now you gotta hit that.
Yeah, that's when I want to get in and out that thing. Once you grab my collar,
yeah.
I've had some men say, grab my collar. Okay.
You can say, grab my collar.
If you got something to get off, just say that.
Go, just say that.
Man, I said, grab my collar.
Grab my collar. No, I definitely, I understand where you're coming from, man. Nobody wants to seem like the show. You know what I mean? And that might just be what navigating navigating blackness is. It's kind of like, you don't want to, like, I don't want all eyes on me just because I do something. I'm just me.
Yeah.
I'm just being me. Like, you know what I'm saying? Like, if I order hot sauce at the restaurant, if I ask for hot sauce, don't make no big thing about me, ask for something. You know what I'm saying? If you want,
I'm enjoying the music and get into it. You don't have to pull out your phone and record me.
Yeah.
Or say, can you do that again?
Yeah.
No.
Or can you do that again? Or if that song come on, like, man, I love this song. Okay, that's a bit. It's Suge by the Baby. Everybody love this song. Come on, bro. Come on. It be tired like that.
Yeah.
Like, man, did you have to? You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? So, I don't know, man. I just look forward. I don't know. So now that Juneteenth, now that Juneteenth is like a federal holiday, and I know I keep bringing this up, but it's really just happened. Mm-hmm. And as the years go by, it's gonna be interesting to see how
it develops.
How it develops, you know what I mean? Like, I don't know. And black people, we've lost a lot of things that were sacred to us. Mm-hmm. We have, you know what I'm saying?
Freedom.
Like, yeah, freedom.
Being in our homes. Families.
Family, children, healthcare.
Our ideas.
Our music. our clothes, you know what I'm saying? Like our sports,
communities,
every genre of music. You know what I'm saying? We keep making a new genre of music and it gets stolen. Then we can make another one. Then that one gets stolen. You know what I'm saying? So a lot of these things that are like sacred to black people that help create the black space.
Mm-hmm.
When you see them 4 pans lined up in the row with the little burners under them, you know what I'm saying? Or you know what I'm saying? Or you see, I don't know, things that just like create those spaces that let you know, oh, this is a black function. You know what I'm saying? A lot of things are being, you know, co-opted, and like Juneteenth was definitely something that was very sacred to black folk because it symbolized so much of our struggle. Like
that's a significant day.
Yeah, it's a significant day. You know what I'm saying? Juneteenth.
That might be the most important that is the most important black holiday. Because if that didn't happen, then
we still be
the
there.
world would be completely different.
Completely different, bro. It's so black that we made up the name. Like Juneteenth, it's June 19th, but it's Juneteenth. Like, that's how black it is. You know what I mean? Yeah. So when I think about things like that, I think about things that are sacred to us. I just start to, I don't know. It's kind of like, well, we ain't got kids. I don't know. It's kind of like putting anything that you created or put your time in or that you hold dear to you, putting it out there for the masses. Mm-hmm. Like maybe, you know, like, I don't know. It just, you don't know what's going to happen to it. I guess that's what I be feeling like.
Yeah. Only time will tell, though.
Yeah.
I don't know, given the times and stuff, it might, you know.
It might be for the good. Yeah. Might be for the greater good. So
only time will tell. Well.
You got anything else for the people, man?
No, man. This episode 21 of the Transferable Experience podcast. Remember to do all the things on all the things.